Alright, hello everyone, welcome to the weekly Wednesday at Lunchtime live stream on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. I'm DDO's Community Manager, Cordovan, and I'm going to be on Kyber here, continuing the journey of Armagh as we head into the mid-single digits on the levels. I've got some stuff to report there. We're going to take a little bit of look at kind of where we are and where we're headed. But we're mostly have a bit of news today, and that's why I've got Mr. Beholder up. Welcome everybody. How you doing? We are live on everything today, and everything seems to be cooking along good, so let's get right to it. The main piece of information to talk about today is the fact that we have got a preview happening on Lemania. So let me go and get that called up. And we could take a look together, shall we? So we have an update to the raid, we have an update to the raid loot, we have an update to our spell, combat, enhancement changes, and that kind of thing. So the stuff in Aqua on this page is what is updated or new for this Lemania preview. I am actually, because I've got some spotlights on my face as part of the live stream, have a little bit of a hard time seeing it, but as long as I'm not, I have it full screen, I can. So we have a couple of Knight of the Chalice changes, and Horn of Thunder will now have new visual audio effects. That's a spell. Warlock Aura colors will now change, depending on your pack choice. Several Warlock visual effects that were the wrong color have been fixed. Renegade Master Maker, we've removed Conjure components. Oh no. I think I lost my my spotlights here. Alright, well, whatever. All raid runes can now be used by double-clicking them instead of needing to go to the quest giver NPC. All raid runes, except for Shroud, will be used by double-clicking them instead of needing to go to an NPC. How cool is that, huh? Minor cosmetic issue resolved in Barovia, and fix some bad object filtering and things like that. Not a whole lot new there, but this is a new preview, so please do consider checking it out. We have got a developer event happening tonight, 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern. So that's the big news of the day right now, is that we have got our raids coming very soon, and we've got some new stuff to take a look at here over on Lemania. Also, next week, this time, this channel, just like this, if you're watching this live at noon Eastern on Wednesday, this will be noon Eastern Wednesday, February 24th. That is next Wednesday. I'm going to be joined by one Severlin. And Sev's going to join us to talk the anniversary a little bit. Probably, mostly, largely talk producer's letter things. Could be the same day. We'll see what happens there. We'll see what happens on the producer's letter, but at the very least, we're going to have Sev here next week. This is a Sev show, not a Cordo show, next Wednesday on the weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream. So, hey, also next week is going to kick off our anniversary, so we've got anniversary stuff that's going to be happening next week, as well as most likely our game release, where we release this next raid, in addition to the following changes that you can see on Lemania, in addition to our anniversary stuff. So that'll be happening next week. Sev will be there to talk a little bit about it, and also you can stay tuned. I think we're on track. If it doesn't happen next week, I'm very, very sorry. It'll probably be the week after. But should be next week. That's our anniversary, is the technically Sunday the 28th. But nonetheless, we're going to be doing our gifts too. GIFTS. Gifts, not gifts, or whatever you want to say in this internet age. Although you could probably make a GIF out of at least one of them. We're going to be giving our 15th anniversary freebies, of which there will be And one will be something that is more practical, and one of them will be something that is cosmetic. And that'll be happening all next week as well as the anniversary event. What is new really on the anniversary event loot? Well, we have got all of those house-themed cloaks that have been added to the end reward list. Remember, I guess it was 2 years ago, right? 2 or 3 years ago that we did house-themed cloaks, one for every house, and they look really cool, and you had to redeem a whole ton of coupons to get them all, and some people missed one or didn't get it right, or they got it on one character but they wanted a different server, etc. Anyway, you can just get that stuff in the anniversary event now, so that's actually a pretty cool addition to that, and that's going to make a bunch of people happy who, for whatever reason, did not get one of those cloaks when they were released, or maybe they weren't even playing then, right? So that's cool too. We also do have a new cosmetic crown thing that'll be there, and then finally there's going to be a new cosmetic pet in the reward list as well, as I understand it. So all of that's going to be happening next week. So next week's show is going to be quite the biggie. I will otherwise leave the Lamania stuff for you to look at, and we're going to head in game here a little bit and get going so that the show keeps at a good pace. However, before I do that, let me go check your chat. What about the sentient Jewel of the Dragon? Not as of yet. That remains its anniversary reward. Potentially in the future we could do something with it, but that is certainly not coming anytime soon that I'm aware of. Hope everyone is well and okay. Yep, we're all fine here. I know that there's been some pretty tough times, particularly those in the Texas area of Texas and northwards, with basic infrastructure needs like power, water, things like that. So I know that anyone from that area who is struggling right now, our thoughts are with you indeed. Any news on the topic of buying older expansions separately and not in the $60 pack? This is being asked over on YouTube. Hello, Lupito. That is something that we will be looking at. At this time, I don't have any further announcements regarding what packages will be available in the new DDO market, but that is certainly something that we could do and respond to in the future. So stay tuned, perhaps. Let me head over to Facebook. Hello, everyone over on Facebook. Fix the healing hirelings. They act like barbarians, especially the epic ones. Yeah, okay. I don't know if... I don't know. When will Shifter come to the DDO store? I also do not have any news to pass along related to that. I apologize. I don't know that, John, that we're going to see the 15th anniversary stuff on Lamania. I think we might be saving the surprise on that one. It wouldn't be the first time we've done that, and I think that may be deliberate. I wasn't sure if it was actually on Lamania or not. I hadn't really looked, to be honest. So it sounds like maybe it isn't, and that is probably deliberate. I think that's deliberate, because we don't want to give away the gifts that were given out yet. So, because it's going to be pretty sweet. Alright, let me head back to Twitch here then, before I talk a little bit about what's going on in game. Hey, the hirelings are not morons. They may not be quite the level of you. Or sometimes, a keyboard, or, Okay, so sometimes they're not always the smartest, but come on, man, what do you expect? I think they're just fine. I would not want them fixed at this point. No, maybe I would. No, I wouldn't. Yeah. I think I would. Alright, we'll see. I can't pass that along. Sorry, Ernie in YouTube chat. Let me know. It was funny. It was funny. It's just a little mean, but it was funny. Alright, let me head in game quick and show you what I'm doing. So, I am just about ready to hit level 4 on our MOG here. And I have lots. I had like 1.5 million plat. I didn't have a lot of lobby gear, and I wanted to just get away from the starter gear here. In a few cases. So I went to the auction house before I went live here today to just sort of shore up a few things. So for example here, I got myself a just basic, I got this for Deadly 2. You know, like I say, nothing there. I got this for the acid resistance and minor spell resistance, and because I didn't have anything in my ring slot. I found the crude bauble for a pretty good deal, which I thought was just fine. It just gives me lesser false life, but also gives me a 25% fortification, which isn't much, but if you fall within that 25%, hey, isn't that nice? I'm about ready to hit level 4, and when I do, I've got some goggles for accuracy plus 5. You know, whatever. This is just lobby gear. It's going to be gone within a few levels. But I just wanted to spend some plat, and so I'm not using the Korthos starter gear, essentially, as I go through the next couple of levels here in the game. I got myself a long sword right now that is smoldering, and tinted slice doesn't hurt either, and that's going to just be better than the Lorn's blade I was using. And then I believe this is level 4, although it's not showing it yet. Yeah, as soon as I hit level 4, then I've got acidic and draining for a bastard sword. I am a bastard sword wielder on this character, so that's why the bastard sword, but I'm not level 4 yet, although we'll see where I am after daily dice here in just a bit. But I wanted to kind of show you just a little bit what I did before I got going here today. And I'm just leveling up a bit. Alright, so let's go through that collectibles crate, huh? That was kind of neat. Normally, I think at this point that is probably what you do. If you have a crafter, then you'd probably just have some crafted lobby gear. Yeah, boom, bang, there's my level 4. So, I'll just save that longsword for the future. Meanwhile, I'm going to pop level 4 here quick before I get going. And like I say, I'm just leveling up at this point on this character. Nothing big. My gear doesn't matter that much at this point. But I did want to get away from the starter gear. Not that I needed it per se, but it will matter a few times as you start to get into a little bit more difficult fights. And so it just made sense to do that. Alright, and our MOG, as you know here, is just simply a straight fighter, and that is all I am doing here as well. Strength is what I am putting my level ups into. At this point, I am not so worried about Intimidate. I will get that up later. For my 4th level feat, I'm not going to take 2-up fighting. I'm 2-handed fighting here. I could take dodge. That's a possibility. I could take Kopesh, but I could take... Oh, no, I've got, like, cleaves and stuff here, too. Alright, so what I will probably take is cleave. Gotta get that cleave. That'll make a big difference. So let me go and get cleave put into my hotbar here. And pop on then over to... Actually, do I have any points to spend? No. Okay. Pop on back over to the harbor and get that done. Before I do that, though, let me mention that... let's see, I talked about Lamania, I talked about the anniversary, I talked about the fact that Sev will be joining us next week. I don't have the bonus to announce yet. I looked it up, but we actually don't quite have something on the calendar yet. I think we're probably considering something like a Guild Renown boost. Reason for that being is I happened to check the calendar, and we haven't done a Guild Renown boost since November. And that's been probably the bonus that has gone by the least that is still considered to have, you know, value on the part of the community. And I've had a few people, it's like, I kind of wouldn't mind having that Guild Renown boost sometime. So I think just kind of given that we are just sort of doing whatever we're doing at the moment, I think we may go with a Guild Renown boost, but we'll see where we fall there.
Stealth might be an asset here.
I am going to say nay on that stealth. Did I actually equip the thing? Yes, I did. Good. Okay. I mean, there are people who like the crafting boost as well, but this is it was actually when I looked at the calendar just quickly before I went on the air here, honestly, just to kind of see what we'd done for a while and what we hadn't done for a while. We've gone through all of the XP ones. We did the Champion Hunter not that long ago. We've done the Treasure Reward boosts. That one's popular. We even did Reaper XP not that long ago, along with VIP XP. So the one that we haven't done since November was Guild Renown. That stood out to me as one that we just haven't done for a while. Crafting as well, but then as you know, some people have pointed out, that bonus is perhaps not as popular as some of the others. So given that, I think it might be a Guild Renown boost this weekend, but stay tuned. That'll happen tomorrow, late morning Eastern time, and then we'll announce it on social media. We did have a weekly update, or weekly restart rather, this morning, and it took just a little bit longer than usual, and the reason for that was because we're doing a little work on the chat server issue that you've been reporting to us and people have been experiencing. And as soon as we know more, we will certainly let you know. But we did a little bit of kind of behind the scenes work today that will help us diagnose what's going on. And hopefully we'll have progress there that we can report. Needless to say, we're still working on it. But, you know, that's why I guess took about 45 minutes longer than usual to get back up the world today. It's because we're working on a little chat server thing. See what we can do there. So I guess, honestly, at this point, if you really don't care anything about just kind of hanging out and stuff, I think the news has been covered. So if you want to call it a day, if you're like, oh my god, I don't want to watch him level up some lobby, what the heck's wrong with you? Hey, thanks for watching. But hey, I'm certainly willing to talk about more, but we're right on the cusp of, you know, releasing our producer's letter next week, and that's gonna have, you know, most of the new information on it. And after all this work to get us ready to publish it, wouldn't it kind of suck if I just went and said it all today? No? Oh, well, I think I'm gonna have to do that anyway, sorry. But anyway, we're right on the cusp of our 15th anniversary, and how cool is that, right? When we think back to what we've done, it was the 5th anniversary that Crystal Cove debuted. The Euphonia's Challenge Treasure of Crystal Cove debuted for the 5th anniversary. For the 10th anniversary, many of you may remember that we kind of pulled out all the stops. I believe that's where the anniversary event debuted, but on top of that, that is where we gave out all those named items, which was certainly a popular decision. So popular. What? Alright, that all looks pretty good. I'm just gonna have to let that curse wear off. This lightning bolt can actually be pretty rough. I've seen, like on hardcore, that particular thing take people out. It'll happen.
You have recovered the stolen goods for Cartamon. Return them to him right away.
There we go. I do kind of have all the info and not be able to tell. This is true. But that said, it's pretty exciting, and we're right about there. So lots to look forward to as we get ready to celebrate our 15th anniversary here for DDO next week. People have been asking about some kind of special live stream on it. I think we're going to do that. I think it'll be Friday the 26th. I don't really have any more plans than that because I've been in the middle of trying to get the producer's letter out and that kind of thing. But I think Friday the 26th. We're going to do something special, whether it's a 12-hour stream or maybe just a couple hours hanging out with some people, or even just kind of a couple hours hanging out, and then maybe I'll do a little bit in the evening heading into the normal shows and such. But I think we'll target that Friday the 26th for that, rather than, say, a day-long thing on that Sunday, the 28th, which is technically the anniversary, but it's a Sunday, right? I can't... I've got other things I have to do. So I think we're going to make Friday the 26th. But that should work out pretty good, especially if perhaps next Wednesday is our release day for a bunch of stuff. And by the 26th, the anniversary event should, fingers crossed, be ready to go. Well, that'll be better. So at this point, like I said, none of this gear really matters that much, other than I'm just kind of shoring up a few things, and that's looking pretty good. So there we are on that. I guess let's see what else I can mention. Yeah, there's been a lot of good names over the years, has there not?
Stinks of kobolds and decaying trash. Vermin scurry away from your footsteps.
I'm looking at Facebook chat here. Ooh. How high do hair dyes stack in the bank? I think they don't stack. As to how many colors, quite a few. I would need to go into the store, I think, to really know for sure, but it's something in the range of at least a dozen, right? So...
Kobolds are milling about in the space beyond, rummaging through trash and spitting curses at one another.
Oh, shoot. I should have ought to grabbed that. which I will do in a second once I'm not being attacked by Kobold throwers. There we are. Smuggler's Ruby. It's kind of a quick one, though, and isn't the worst way to kind of get some of your lobby coin, as it were, if you need it, which I don't. This is a character with a past life, both epic and heroic now. This is, for those who have kind of not been watching or paying attention, what happened here on this character is that this is the oldest character that I currently own. This character was created in June of 2006, and at the time was a pre-made, basically, character that I created just to check DDO out. And over the years, you know, has largely been ignored until the live stream, at which point this character went back, but that was really in a, at best, 2010 state. And so, for the start of the year, trying to think of something to do that is at least mildly interesting on the live stream, when I'm not talking about the news of the day, I thought it might be kind of interesting to take a look at this old character, bang them up a little bit, update them a little bit to modern standards, and sort of look a bit about what that process would be, because we have a bunch of people who, you know, come back to the game for various reasons and may find themselves with a character that is essentially a couple of years old or longer. And so it seemed like something that might be enough value to be interesting enough to do something for the live stream with it. And so that's really what's going on here in terms of the Chronicles of Armagh. This is the old Beefheart the Vegetarian, was the name. Beefheart the Vegetarian. Beefheart after the artist Captain Beefheart, which combined with, instead of the Barbarian, the Vegetarian, it just sort of has a roll off the tongue, does it not? And I'm just going to have to barrel through this and hope I survive. What do I even... what? Oh, I don't need blindness removal. I'm just chugging potions. See what if any of this stuff's gonna make a difference. There we go. Alright, Geronimo!
You flinch as an unseen web clings to your face.
Yep.
Below, chittering voices rise in hungry anticipation.
Alright. Yeah, at the time it was really not possible to play characters that had been played as a player on the live game worlds when, you know, I first started working for the company in 2010, and that was just the policy of the time. But what it ended up being is this character got shuffled off to a server that I didn't really play on. And by the time, and I really didn't do anything with this character until the live stream began, what, I guess almost 4 or so years ago now. But at that point, remember, I was doing weekly groups. So I was only on a server for 2 weeks, so only about 2 hours, and only because of the server rotation, went about once every 3 months. So that level of play just wasn't enough to actually make any real progress on developing the character. So since I am doing away, at least for now, with like the public grouping and points giveaway aspect of the live stream, it seemed like it might make sense to focus a little bit more on things like this. And so, yes, you know, I did see that last week some people were like, oh my gosh, is he really going to do lobby questing for the next, you know, couple of months? No, hopefully not a couple months. I think it won't take that long. And yes, I do need to do some of that off stream as well, because no one wants to watch me do lobby questing. That said, yeah, it's part of the overall process that I'm doing here deliberately, which is to kind of show what you might want to do a little bit in terms of if you're coming back and trying to get started. So what I've done to date is I had a level 30 character, right? But that level 30 character was all but kind of not doing much. There we are. And so now I'm just really picking up XP and leveling up as quickly as I can. A two-hander would speed my quest up quite a bit. So, yes, and I am currently using one. I just started using it today, but I am a two-hander, but I am sword and board. This is the character I want to make. The character this is deliberate. Perhaps in the future you'll start to see why. But I am taking the two-handed fighting line and using a bastard sword for the hand-and-a-half abilities. I'm just kind of... This is easy XP. That's why I'm doing this. So we will get, you know, this character fairly soon will start getting into slightly more compelling content here. You know, I understand that this is early days on the character, but we're going to start to see things move a lot more quickly now that the MS gear's pretty decent enough and to get through the next couple of levels. And the character is starting to get good enough that I'm just going to tear through the next few levels pretty quickly here, so... Anyway, but part of the idea here is when I am done with this, we're going to have a much nicer character to play with on the live stream. That is more attuned to the sort of way I play the game, with a build that works for me. And I think, you know, regardless of how good or bad the build ends up being from kind of a meta perspective, it's going to be a build that I can play with in a way that, you know, that's mine. And maybe a few people will pick up a few things from it. That's really the goal here. I'm not putting myself out there as some kind of mega expert. I never would, never will. But I think you'll pick up maybe a few things regardless. A character that doesn't die? Oh, pfft. Oh, are you kidding me? No, death is expected. No, no, yes. No, yes, no, yes. What I'm going to do is try not to die as much. And that is part of why I'm doing this as well. Ooh. Again, that would have been okay for a while. What are we sitting in terms of time? We're fine. While I am doing this, let me quick over swim cleric for days. You joke, although I am putting a few points in swim. The reason is it's a basic survival thing. It works for me. Yes, you can run through the middle for those blades. Yes, we would love to have specific cosmetic storage. Maybe someday, right? Maybe someday. But it's not going to be anytime soon. It's a big project to be able to do something like that. It is, however, something we would like to do if we had the ability. We recognize that the more cool cosmetics we bring out, the worse this problem gets. Right? So... yes, we too would like to do something about that. I just can't make any promises. You have had trouble making an open group on Epic, huh? Is it that just no one's joined, or that you've run into some kind of bug with the open group mechanic? I have to admit, I haven't used the open group mechanic in a while, but I did do it for, I don't know, a couple of weekends, about a year ago, something like that, just to have it open, because I was hanging out doing some easy lobby leveling, something like this. And I figured, what the heck, you know, if someone wants to join, they can. And it was working fine then. So I guess I'd be curious to know more about what your open group issue was on Epic. That was, I just said lobby leveling though, so maybe it's just an Epic specific thing. That's true. I don't think I've tried to do an open group in Epic in some time. It won't allow you to choose an open group without inviting someone first instead of waiting for someone to join, huh? Okay. Interesting. I think I know what you're saying there. All I can really say is I can have someone take a look at that. It should be that if you go into a dungeon set on Epic, set on open, that it should just allow that first member of your party, as long as they are Epic level as well, to just go ahead and join the group. Yeah, I bet there is a cap on swim. I'm not like capping it out or anything like that, but I'm usually putting, I don't know, at least I'd like to have a swim skill of 15, 20, something like that. Enough to just kind of help when you do find yourself in the water with the current to not just sort of be at its mercy. Yeah, like when jump is 40 or more, you can't jump any higher. Any new monster manuals on the slate? Well, stay tuned. We've got producer's letter coming out in the near future. How's the shield compare? Let's take a look. Yeah, I will get that built for when I hit level 5. That'll be useful enough. I am not doing that. What quest? No, no. I never heard of it. I think I'm going to skip that one. I will, however, head into the waterworks. Easy XP to be had in here.
The strong smell of sewage permeates.
Craig, I've run Sacred Helm not that long ago, and I don't remember running into an issue. There's some pretty funny stuff to be had there if you want to read it. Oh, Samus, you got a video of the Sacred Helm Bug on your YouTube, huh? Alright, well that's cool. I'll check that out. I can see what's going on there. I'm heading over to YouTube chat here real quick. Let's see. Why are the laughing knives not a part of the anniversary event? Oh, that's a pretty interesting idea. Mostly we were just trying to reference some of the more popular and well-known characters, NPCs, groups in the event. And the laughing knives are certainly a big part of, you know, the Stormreach experience, but I don't know that they really have a lot of popularity per se, do they? People don't really think of the laughing knives in the same way that they think of, like, a Jeets, for example, or, you know, Militia and things like that. That ultimately is why we included the characters we did in the anniversary event. But the laughing knives would certainly be a thematic make sense. I do not know who this old DM voice is. Unfortunately, that information appears to be largely lost through time. It keeps coming up whenever we get the chance. I'm just going to have to try to deal with this. But I am keeping my Lobi sword for these oozes. And I should probably take out the shaman, however, first. Let me drop my better sword, which is right now... I'd say it's that one right now. Alright. Probably just because of the speed boost there. I don't think I finished everything here. No. Pizza's ready. Okay. I'm just using up my Lobby potions here. Oh. Nice. What time do we got? Ah, all right. Moink. Pow. And you're done. All right. Worth it. Yeah, pretty soon I'll be heading into Feywild on that because it'll be level 5, right? So just a little bit more, but I'm good going through this rather than say keep in that because I can tear through it pretty quickly, and there you go. So I just need to get some honestly electricity resist potions before I head back in. That I think would make sense. Just because of my character here, right? Could use it. What will the Players' Council be for? The Players' Council, in particular, will be looking a lot at some upcoming systems. I would imagine short-term. They'll be among the first to provide public feedback on our Epic Destiny update that we have, you know, in the relatively near future. They'll be, I would imagine, taking a look at some of the upcoming bow changes that we have in the works that we've talked a little bit about. A lot of system stuff, I would imagine, in 2021 in particular, will be on the Players' Council agenda. So something to consider, I guess, if that's of interest to you. Now, the period to apply, however, was through last weekend. And so Kokomo Jobo and others will be going through that list in the coming weeks, and I believe we have March-ish as a goal to get those first invites sent out. First off, let me get some more potions here. And let me get some curse potions. Just in case, let me get a couple of jumping potions. Except it's not working. Why did that not work? Okay. Okay. And then I'm going to need resist electricity. Alright. Alright, back at it. Let's try that again. This time with a little bit more preparedness. I would not expect to hear about the When on the Next Players Council until sometime in March. So that'll be after the anniversary and all that sort of thing. The anniversary stuff will be next.
The strong smell of sewage permeates the air around you. You hear human voices up ahead.
Technopath, I don't mind having hirelings out. I do it fairly regularly on the live stream. I'm just not currently using one. Although I suppose I could bring out, now that I'm level 4, I could bring out this Feywild Muse, right? But, there we go. Alright, someone's trying to ping me. Let's see what that's about. Okay, I need to cut that. Okay. Nothing I need to deal with right now. Pretty soon, I'm going to be able to just brute force my way through these next couple levels without really much in the way of healing, or maybe just a quick cleric hireling if I need to. Yeah, I'll probably use a cleric hireling for a few things. But at the moment for today, it's fine. It's fine. Even at level 30, you're using Ilaria as cannon fodder. Well, there may be times where it's beneficial to just have someone, you know, holding a lever or something like that. So totally, even at level 30, that Ilaria is going to come in handy occasionally, I would think. Yep. You have had a mailbox issue for a very long time. Someone on YouTube says, I don't know. You say you have put in tickets without a fix, which also means that there may clearly is something exceptional going on with whatever is causing that. I do not know the answer, unfortunately. As to what you would need to do, it is going to be customer service that's going to have to help you with that. And I would imagine if you do have some kind of long-standing engineering issue, then that's probably a reflection of something that one of our engineers would need to look at the individual account level, would be my expectation on that. So ultimately what you're going to have to do is get in touch with customer support, and they're going to have to resolve your issue.
Hear a loud chorus of snoring creatures behind the door.
Okay. Let's see if I can do a little bit better this time, huh? I've got my potion going. That's at least something. So let's see if this will get the job done. Alright. So far, so good. Barrel. So they do hit Z hard, do they not? But now with the shaman gone, should be just fine. Where did my sword go? Okay. Quick, get that into inventory. That's a quick slot. There we go. That's true. We could just have Larry pull that lever, essentially. As Samus was saying, that's definitely something that that you could do, could you not? All right. Yeah. So here we are. Make sure I'm going the right way. There we go. Oh, can't do that yet. Oh, I need to get the key. Okay, never mind. Never mind. I see what I've done wrong. Okay. Don't you sometimes wish you could use a mount? And, yes, you too? Okay. Here we are. Got it. There we go. What about remote crafting? That is a cool idea. We do have that item available in the store for like disjuncting and things. Oh, we're actually at 1 o'clock here, so I'm just gonna finish this off stream and call it done. So by next week I should be level 5, and we'll just handle it that way. Let me do one quick check through chat. Okay, I think I'm okay there. Let me check over on YouTube. Are there any feats that will be removed because they never get used? Well, as a matter of fact, in the relatively near future here, we are doing away with 2-weapon blocking. And it's getting rolled into 2-weapon defense. So right there, I guess, is an example of us doing that. Although we certainly haven't done it very often. But we're not opposed to doing that when it makes sense. Update on lag. We are working on... Well, we are continuing to investigate the causes of that. One of the things we're looking at is chat disconnects in addition to lag, and hopefully we'll have better things to say about that once we do investigation here in the near future. Yeah, I need the key. Yes, I know. Okay, yeah, we're going to wrap this up then. Samus Garobo is going to be taken over from here, heading on over to his channel with the raid. Thank you very much for watching. Reminder, Sev's going to be with us next week, so there you go. Happy anniversary next week, DDO, and I will see you then. Until then, have fun.